Welcome to the training module on workflows. In this module, you'll learn about workflows and how to use them to automate business processes. A workflow is a graphical representation of a business process, showing the steps and activities involved in completing a task or achieving a goal. Our system provides a rich set of activities that you can use to design and automate your workflows. You'll learn how to create and manage workflows, and how to use the system's tools and features to make your business processes more efficient and effective. By the end of this module, you'll be able to use our workflow system to its full potential and help your business thrive. Let's get started.
A workflow is a set of instructions that you would like World of Workflows to perform. These instructions are comprised of activities. You connect activities together to describe the flow of your workflow. You start a workflow by creating a trigger. A trigger is an event that causes a workflow to start. For example, you can create a trigger that starts a workflow when a new email arrives. You can also create a trigger that starts a workflow when a file is added to a folder on your computer. You can even create a trigger that starts a workflow when a button is clicked on a web page. Activities are the building blocks of a workflow. They are the instructions that you would like World of Workflows to perform. For example, you can create an activity that sends an email or an activity that creates a new file. You can also create an activity that opens a web page or an activity that runs a program on your computer.
To create a new workflow. 1. Click Admin. 2. Click Workflows. 3. You will then be in the workflow dashboard and can see workflow definitions or templates, workflows that are running or have run, instances, and system workflows in the workflow registry. For this section, we'll work with workflow definitions. To create a workflow, click the Create Workflow button. The Workflow Designer appears. It has the following options. 1. Auto layout on the bottom left lays out the workflow in a nice way automatically. 2. The Publish drop-down on the bottom right allows you to publish the workflow definition and also allows you to import and export workflow definitions. 3. The chevron button on the top right shows the information on your workflow definition and its versions. 4. The question mark button on the top right shows the Workflow Designer help. 5. The cog button on the top right allows you to name your workflow, define variables, and define other technical information about your workflow. To add an activity to the surface, click the green Add Activity button. The activity picker will appear. Below are the activities that can be used to start a workflow. Wait for created object. This activity waits for an instance or object to be created in the database. Wait for updated entity. This activity waits for an instance or object to be updated in the database. Object instance trigger. This activity is used to preset a button when editing an instance in either a view or the database type editor. Watch directory. This activity watches a directory for changes and triggers a workflow when a file is added, deleted, or modified. HTTP endpoint. This activity creates an HTTP endpoint that can be used to trigger a workflow when you or another application calls the endpoint. CRUN. This activity triggers a workflow based on a CRUN expression. CRUN expressions enable you to schedule tasks to run periodically at a specified date or time. Timer. This activity triggers every time specified, which can be seconds, minutes, days, weeks, or any time value. Started. This activity triggers once at a time in the future. Signal received. This activity triggers once another workflow sends a signal to it. When building workflows for the first time, one commonly uses the HTTP endpoint or object instance trigger to get started. As we are using the object instance trigger, we will need at least one type and instance. Go to Admin, Types. Click Add Type. Enter the name as customer and description as paying customer. Click Save. Click Customer to add an instance and click the Add Customer button. Enter the name as John Smith and click Save. If you wish, at this point you could create a view that would make navigation quicker.
Create a workflow. Go to Admin, Workflows. Click Create Workflow. Click Add Activity. On the left, click the data category and choose Object Instance Trigger. The Object Instance Trigger will appear on the surface. Right-click and choose Edit. Ensure the object type ID is Customer and click Common. Enter the name as OIT and display name as Trigger on Customer. Click Save. Click the cog, top right. Enter the name as Customer Workflow and the display name as Customer Workflow. Click Save, then Publish. Test the workflow. Go to Admin, Types. Click Customer. Click John Smith. Click the Workflows tab. Click the Play button. Navigate to Admin, Workflows, Workflow Instances. You will see a workflow instance. Click on it. You will see the activity in green, showing it ran successfully. Right-click the activity to see the statistics. Click the chevron button to see more information. General shows the information on the workflow instance itself. Journal shows step-by-step what happened, how it worked, and any errors. Activity state shows details on any activity when you click the activity. Variables shows the variables that were used in the workflow. Conclusion. Workflows are extremely powerful. Take some time to work through them. We will deliver more advanced modules on workflow development, but for now, you can read the activity guide to learn about each activity.